Good evening and welcome to Three Beards and a Boss. And we have an extra beard. I didn't know nothing
Yes!
We do have three beards.
We
Four beards.
Mandy, welcome to the show. And your beard
Welcome,
looks
Mandy.
I couldn't be the boss. There's only one boss on your show, and I know better than that.
I
I
love
knew
it.
better from watching that there's only one boss.
I
So
love
I
it.
added the beard.
Yes,
that's
I
beautiful.
love it.
So before the
That
show,
is the most
she said,
glorious beard we have on this show.
Thank you.
yeah,
There's
Bobby,
not
you
one
just
person
got
that
beat.
can compete.
It's not see-through. It's not see-through like yours.
That hurts a little.
I'm
That
sorry.
hurts a little, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Not
So
me.
Mandy,
That hurt
welcome
me.
to the show.
Thank you.
It's great to finally get you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
ma'am.
I really do. I do.
So we're going to get into what we our title in a few minutes. Yeah, you got some hair.
That is an issue if you have a beard.
You
You,
go
need to-
through every day.
you have to do
It goes
that
in
every
your
day.
mouth. It goes everywhere. It's great.
So, Bobby,
Yeah.
what do you think about the old China or Chinese balloon, man?
Man, haven't we had this before happen? I mean, this isn't the
Oh,
They,
first
they
time.
say we
So,
did. They
can I
said
tell
that
you?
it's happened with our former
So
president.
Connor educated me and said, Mom, there were 3 balloons that flew over from China in Trump's administration, and he did nothing. And I was like, I never knew that. So yes, because I was like, Trump would have shot that down. I'm not like a big Trump person, but Trump would have shot that. He's like, no, Mom, 3 balloons in Trump's administration. He was just like, whatever. And here
So
we are now.
What I've been gathering or what I've been researching the last couple of days is that right now there's a balloon over Latin America. They've seen them over in Europe. They've seen them some places in Asia. So apparently they just want to know what our weather's like in all over the world. I think they're just, these poor folks. They're just like, our weather's so good here in China. We want to see what they talk about, these hurricanes and everything in the States. That's just my theory, but I'm probably wrong.
Is that really your theory?
No, hell no. No, that's not my theory.
Okay, good. I was
My theory is they're just picking up whatever Facebook, TikTok, Twitter didn't already pick up for them.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: is if it's been going on for years, what don't they already have?
Well,
Right? I mean,
so when they were flying over, they really didn't get anything because we jammed their ability to view anything. So the cameras didn't work on the
This guy-
balloon. So they
this
can
guy-
jam that type of stuff.
We had a well-trained pigeon sit right in front of the camera the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah, the whole time.
He took a shit on the camera.
Yeah,
Did we,
yeah.
did we ever see what they really did see? Because I mean, I've seen a whole bunch of.
Mhm.
Well, they shown what that
They keep
they
trying to find
covered,
out.
like on the mapping. So they said they went over base in Montana, Air Force Base in Montana, but I don't know what else they were trying to look at. But I just want to know. There's no way that thing came all the way from China. They had
But here's
to.
the thing, yes, it did. And here's the thing: like, it's not just an Air Force base in China, isn't it? Like a nuclear base in Montana.
There's silos in Montana. So
With
basically
what?
defense. So defense
Yeah,
capabilities to defend our country.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure
They're
those are
trying
all
to
over the
figure
plains.
out-
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought they didn't go over California and get all confused and everything.
They would be
Well,
so
didn't they shoot
confused.
it down over Myrtle Beach?
Yeah.
They shot down
How
in
do
Myrtle
you guys
Beach,
know
yeah,
they
off the
weren't trying to
coast.
do a Girls Gone Wild?
Yeah, yeah. So
They need to
I mean,
play
they
that
were
back.
just
All these
they're just
conspiracy
early.
theories, they were just trying to see some girls take their tops off.
Yeah,
I
so they're
Yeah.
early this
Shooting
year.
strong right now.
They were hoping that the balloon was going to go over Myrtle Beach during spring break.
Yeah.
but
Right.
it went a little too
A little
quick,
too early.
and they missed out on.
When
seeing
you-
I
what
tell
was
you,
going on.
honestly though, we probably should have shot this thing down. And the first several we should have shot down too. But man, I don't think we want to go to war with China, man.
No,
We need to be extremely careful on what we do. So, we can, give our commentary, but war, I mean, you guys know.
Yeah.
yeah,
We don't want that.
no, we don't want that.
So if they were just kind of looking over and checking out, you know,
But they're not just coming over and checking it out. There's a reason why they're coming over.
well, I'm sure there was. They didn't do it for shits and giggles because I'm sure that was very expensive. But man,
So
I
Rhonda
don't
thinks that those guys were looking in her window.
yeah, I think they were. Sorry, that was me that did that. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So she thinks they were peeping toms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's dirty. Dirty.
I want to see what American girls look like.
Mhm.
Did you give them a flash, Rhonda?
You know what it was? Is they
AKA
wanted to see
Mom.
the Yellowstone Ranch is what they were looking for.
Yeah, they were wanting John Dutton's land. Okay, TJ.
Yes, like everyone
So
else.
so at this point we're trying to recover pieces so we can identify what they were looking at, right? So nobody really knows at this point.
Right.
But
But
man, that's
they do
some
not really know.
that's
But
some
isn't
scary
there
shit, man.
another concern with what might have been in the balloon, though? If there
Big-
could have been something that
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like
That's why they didn't shoot it down over the
I mean,
land.
we just don't know at this point.
yeah.
Yes.
People are
No.
afraid of the biological situation.
Mhm.
I don't
Just,
think
you know,
I
if
don't
we're
think
going to go to war, just do it on Monday, you guys. Fucking come on, guys. The
I know,
Chiefs are the
Monday's
Super Bowl.
Yeah, we got
Sure.
Super Bowl.
Come on.
weekend.
Come on. You're not going
I
to do this
hate
week.
like, do we have to work the rest of the work week? Just do it. Just get us done.
No, we gotta get through the Super Bowl.
Yeah, let's get to the Super Bowl, Becky.
Well, that's probably when they're going to do it because they know all you Americans love the Super Bowl.
you
You
American.
Americans, are you not American
Oh,
anymore?
Whoa,
Well, I'm
whoa!
American, but I don't watch. I kind of watch the Super Bowl, but I don't.
Kind
You
of.
watched the commercial.
You know what I mean? I watch it, but
She's there for the
Kinda.
food and the commercials.
food and
Mhm.
commercials and the very last quarter. I'm in.
Yeah.
They want
Um,
to see mom's bum. That's
you
gross.
know,
Mom. Don't
they-
do that. Don't do
is
that,
anybody
Mom.
here, just to like switch some things up a little bit, is anybody here watching The Last of Us on HBO?
You know what? I watched
They
it.
tricked me, Brian.
Even they are moving they're moving their shit up to Friday because they don't want to
Oh,
compete
yeah?
with the Super Bowl.
They don't want to compete.
But hold on, TJ and Becky, you guys are watching it?
Yeah.
I've watched the first episode, and then I watched a couple.
Same.
Little Brian was watching it the other day, and I was like, "What the hell are you watching?" So
Have you watched
I
episode
kind of
3
watched
yet?
it for a few.
Have you watched episode 3 yet?
No.
It's-
No.
Yeah,
it's
we won't talk
terrible.
about that one.
Get your damn tissues out, Becky.
No.
Yes, it is
Brian,
one of the saddest things I've ever seen on TV.
even
Don't
after
spoil
the
it,
red
Phil.
wedding.
Even Becky, just because the person
Red,
that's
that's your
Nick
cue.
Offerman, man, Nick Offerman gives a hell of a performance for episode 3.
Even
Yeah.
after the red wedding. This
Yeah.
is one of the most saddest.
I didn't cry during the red wedding. I was just shocked. I already knew what was going to happen when I watched it because I read it.
Are you talking the Red Wedding? You talking about Game of Thrones?
Game of
Yeah,
Thrones.
yeah.
Yes, yes, that was very
Crazy
dramatic.
Brian had me all hyped up
I have
about
nightmares
Game of-
about that-
oh my God.
that one.
Now I have to worry about this.
Where did Bobby go?
But Becky, are you on episode 2 right now? Have you watched episode 2?
Yes, too.
Just watch episode 3 tonight, Becky. You will be crying.
Why do I want to cry?
It's not a
Brian,
bad
why?
cry, Becky. It's a good cry. It'll be a good cry.
Okay.
Bobby, did you?
I hear also. So they tricked me. So I canceled HBO like 3 months ago because they just
But you
weren't
have my
releasing good things.
subscription.
Whoa!
Not
Don't
to
tell that on
HBO.
air.
Oh my God, that was a different subscription, not a.
Yeah. So,
FBI.
but you know what? I loaded.
Sorry,
Am I
different
getting
subscription.
swatted?
It wasn't HBO.
So
Sorry.
then I logged in, or I had it on my TV prior, so I just popped it on, and it let me watch the first episode, and I was like, "Holy shit! HBO forgot about me, man. They forgot that I canceled." Nope. Episode 2, hey, renew your subscription. So they got me, man. They got me. So, but episode 3 is a standalone, so it doesn't follow the story. It's just about. You know.
It does. They tie it in.
Okay, they tie it.
They tie it
All
in.
right.
But it's man, it is so.
Yeah, they tie it in.
Man, are you
I'm
watching
going
that?
to be up
Are you
until
watching
3
The Last of Us?
a.m. watching this damn show.
Mandy
you
hasn't
watching
chimed
Last of
in.
Us?
I don't know what it is. Never watched it.
It's
Oh.
based on a video game.
It's based on a video game, is what my kid told me. Based
Yeah.
on a video game. It's an apocalyptic type of show where there's like zombies, but they're different from like the Walking Dead zombies.
They're,
And then
they're-
it's really, really, really about the afterlife of like how we start to function as a society after all this chaos happens.
Yeah.
It's not so much the zombie part. It's more
No,
like
it's
what
like
we're
23
gonna
years
do.
later.
Yeah,
Right.
it's 23. Yeah, and so it's actually good, but it's I don't want to cry. I don't
Man, it was damn Becky. It was so good.
Okay, I'm watching it.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so let's switch gears, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes tonight. We have a important football game coming up on Sunday. I think Brian, I know what your position is,
So.
but let's do some predictions between Bobby and Brian here.
Okay.
Oh, dude. Brian, I'll let you go first.
I mean, this is gonna be a good game. I like it's a 50-50. Like that's the odds 50-50. It's a toss
Is
up.
it?
The line is a 1 point. Eagles are favored by 1.5 points, so they're favoring them by 1.5 points. But that's like the fourth closest odds. The last time the odds were this close was when the Chiefs played the 49ers a couple of years ago. The Chiefs were 1.5 point favorites.
Yeah.
It'd be a good game. We definitely were injured as hell going into this. We like fought our way in. Patrick got injured. Snead got injured last week. Juju got injured. So these guys are getting healthy, and I'm hoping they all play. If they do, then I think we have a great shot of winning the game. I'm not like, I think that the Eagles are good, but they didn't have to go through the same gauntlet we had to go through this year. The AFC is just more of a beast than the NFC is. If you look at who they played, you're like, really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, when I was in Atlantic City, during I think it was like the World Series was going on at the very end, and in Jersey, it's crazy because you got a bunch of Philadelphia fans, and they had the baseball going on. The Eagles were doing amazing. So there's a lot of parties in Atlantic City when we were there. The bar at our hotel was constantly hopping. We had a good time. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. What do you think, Bobby?
I'm going to say Eagles have a better shot at this.
Yeah.
Sadly,
All right,
Brian.
do you
yeah,
want to
dude.
do you want to have brothers? Do you want to have a brother?
No, it's fine. It's good.
I mean, they can't all agree. I mean, look at us. So it's Ohio
When
State and
I came into
Florida.
the show, I did. As it progresses,
So, Mandy, do you follow? Have you
I'm
been
climbing
following
the mountain while we're talking, and I decided
I don't know, Brian. What do you think about these ticket prices? $5,000. We can
it's
go
like
watch
a
the
Taylor
Super Bowl.
Swift concert.
Well, I was thinking about just going to Arizona. Bobby, you want to meet me in Glendale this weekend? Dude, just go to for the
Oh my
weekend.
God.
What
Yeah.
if I told you I had 3 tickets?
Let's do it, Bobby. I'll do it. If you're gonna let's
we're
do it,
going.
man. I'll get the hotel for us. If you get a plane ticket out here, I will get us a hotel.
All right, Scott. Where are we
Yes,
going?
sir.
Scottsdale?
Scottsdale. Let's just go there for the weekend, man. Let's just experience what the hell is going on.
It's too late.
No, it's not. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna go to the Super Bowl.
You're not going to go to
I
the
would
Super
like to
Bowl.
be
You're
in
just
the
going to
area
party
of
with
the
everyone
Super Bowl.
that's going to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, like you go up pregame, you do all the shit pregame. You go to like all the
Yeah.
festivities.
I will tell you, I've been
Then
to
go somewhere and watch
Scottsdale, and it's amazing. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
Scottsdale's supposed to be pretty
It's
fun.
awesome. You can go to the Vortex and get your aura fixed. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
What?
yeah. No, I'm-
Aura fixed?
Yeah, there's like a vortex where you
Is
go.
that the
and
thing that glows
It's
and
like-
shit stuff?
It's like this vortex of some kind, and you stand in it, and it fixes all the things. And
I thought Miranda was our spiritual.
no, I that's what
Yeah.
I learned in Scottsdale. No, that's what I learned in Scottsdale. Is they
Did
have
you get
this
your aura
vortex.
fixed?
I didn't go there. We didn't go
Oh,
to the
okay.
actual.
I
vortex.
did one time when I was turning 30,
Okay,
but I
see?
was drunk,
Yeah,
and
oh,
I don't really remember.
You were in Scottsdale when you turned 30?
No, I just got my aura fixed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Trying to get your aura fixed when you turn 30.
No.
Couple times.
No,
Isn't that the dirty 30?
no, that's so funny that you said that, Mandy, because I went to an.
I don't think me and her are talking the same kind of.
No, but I
Perfect.
went to an empath and she cleansed my aura, and then she told me to do this aura bath with like Epsom
Oh,
salt.
maybe we are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
She
I'm-
told me all these things to
We find out so much stuff about
You know what
Becky on
happened?
here.
You know what happened in the bath? I did my
Ooh,
work.
no, tell me. Your topic sounds more fun than mine.
So we're 30. Okay, so you're supposed to do 30 minutes. So I set my timer, right? And I didn't want to put like music on, or I didn't want any distractions. I just wanted to say my mantra and keep going and like get my aura fixed.
You were
right?
saving your mantra.
I was saying this mantra that like she
Oh.
told me to say, that I'm gonna bring all this abundance into my life, and like
Okay.
I kept doing it. So I I stand up. I had cleaned my bathtub out, taken out my fall mat or whatever. I stand up to get out of my aura bath that's fixed my whole life, right? And I bust my ass. I almost died. I busted my shoulder, hit my head, and I'm like, this aura bath killed me. And you know why? You know why? Is because I tried to get out at 25 minutes. And 4 minutes and 19 seconds
That
left.
was dumb.
The universe was telling you to sit back down.
And I did, and I got back in there, and I kept saying it because I'm like, but then I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this again.
So same thing happened to me when I was 24 with my aura. I tried to get out of my divorce. I tried to get out of that early.
Yes.
And it broke me. So same thing.
Just so I'm clear, does aura equal rectum?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
dude.
No.
I was so lost.
Or is your internal life of whatever, like.
Becky, I know. Who gave the
This
class?
kinda
Who gave,
reminds
like,
me.
Stuart Smalley?
Yeah.
No.
Do you remember that guy?
I went to an empath. I went to
Okay.
an actual empath who talked
So
to
hold
angels.
time out. So this person's job description was a fucking empath.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me?
No.
We're in the wrong business, buddy.
And
How
you
much
went to
is
college,
in it?
right?
I mean, because I
all the things, but she talks to angels. So the
How
angels.
much money did we
told
spend
us-
on college?
Mm.
Jesus.
What?
College is a thing. College is a
Listen.
thing.
I believed her. And like you have to accept things. And then after I did the war bath, I said, nah, babe.
You know, Becky, this reminds me when
Mhm.
I was in the Navy
Uh-huh.
and I was sitting down and they were giving me jungle juice all night
Yeah.
long and I stood up too fast and I fell down.
No.
I
it's
got up too
completely
soon.
different.
No,
What's
that's
jungle
different.
juice?
It's everything combined in one.
Well,
So,
the jungle
like a
juice is combined in
cocktail?
one.
Like a medicine cocktail that
It's
nurses
every
do?
cocktail in the world, probably combined with a little bit of juice, and you don't taste the cocktails.
Hmm.
Right? Right,
Yeah, we
TJ?
learned something. We learned
Yeah.
something. So let's get into this.
No, he.
Oh, wait. Can I do my reveal?
Yes, please do your reveal.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want you guys all to give an honest opinion because I got inked on my 44th birthday.
Sweet.
Oh, wow.
Becky, I'm thinking about doing the same thing on my 45th here.
Okay,
I'm gonna go get my aura read now.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I want you guys to be honest, but also remember the job that I do.
Okay.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is this thing?
I like it.
That's cool.
Okay.
I like it.
I like it.
Very nice.
So
Okay.
Just don't go to a bar where they hate cops.
Why is it
Well,
balanced though,
that's why
Becky?
you have sleeves. But yeah, that's my new ink for my 44. And
Nice.
I not only did I get it, but 2 other girls at work got it too.
Nice.
I like it.
Do you like
so
it?
what's the? I
I
do.
do.
What's
So
the
you're-
sword symbolic for?
The fact that we're killing it.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're a butcher and you're
Yeah,
weighing
we
meat
just kill
after you
it.
kill it.
We kill
Yep.
it in the fair judicial system. We kill it.
Yeah, it was a joke. That was a
Yeah, no, yeah, we kill it.
Making
We
sure
just
the
kill
livers
it.
and the hearts measure up.
Yeah, we kill it all. But okay,
like
you guys
it.
cool with it? I'm
Yeah.
not done.
Yeah, I like
I
it.
like
Sure.
it. I
I'm
like it.
actually, I think for my 45th, I'm going to go start getting my like the basis of my next tattoo. I'm just going to
No,
get
you're
the
not.
word
You're gonna
put
do
on.
No,
another
you're not.
sleeve?
Mhm.
You're gonna do
Yeah.
another sleeve?
No,
No.
I'm going to start getting my legs done. I'm going to start getting.
Okay, thank God. Don't do your neck.
No,
No,
hell
if
no.
you do
Hell
your neck, I
no.
will punch you in the fucking gullet.
You need a great big kiss. It's like
No.
one of
Yeah,
those
I
big,
know.
big
Get the
lips.
big smooches right there. Yeah.
Destiny blips
I
on
like
your
my
neck
paycheck.
and like
Right.
treachery across your neck. I'll kill
Mhm.
you. I
We-
I had to
Regrets.
cover my tattoos for the longest time on my arm because my boss was like, "Nope, not going to do it." So I think they're a little more liberal now, but
Yeah. Well, my bosses
love
look
to.
directly at my. I mean, I've only got like this one going down a little bit, but whenever
Yeah.
my like bosses come and visit, they're looking like I'm talking to them. They're looking down at my arm constantly. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Really, bro,
Judging you.
my face is up here, you guys. My face is
Right.
up here."
Yeah, everybody has
Yeah.
tattoos. Get over. Like, I mean, the police departments are now allowing their people to have beards, not have to cover their tattoos. Like, I mean,
It's a different time.
it's a different time. Like, let people live. People aren't living by the same code that they were 40 years ago. Come on. Yeah. I actually hate when I have to see deputies and officers wear that fake sleeve. I think it looks stupid. I'm just saying.
The same one that Dolly Parton wears on her hands?
What about your hands?
The same one that Dolly Parton wears on her hands to make them look young all the time?
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
shoot.
Oh, don't be talking about Dolly. I'll
That's
get to meet
I
Dolly.
love Dolly, man. Do whatever you got to do, Dolly.
Hey, I'm meeting Dolly in April, so be nice.
Sweet.
How are you meeting her?
You
Well,
are?
I'm going to Tennessee, and my goal is to go to Dolly World,
Oh.
and I'm going to meet Dolly, and she's going to
that's
give
your
me
plan?
my forever job.
And you're going to marry her? and
No,
all
I'm
that
going to be her
fun stuff?
personal bodyguard. I can't marry her. It's not hard.
Are you hoping for like a
She's the
Kevin
godmother
Costner,
of
Already
all my
married.
dreams. Can't
Are you
do it.
hoping for like a Kevin Costner
No
Houston type relationship?
No, I
that would be the
just want her to pay
bomb.
me a lot of money, and I'll be her bodyguard, but no benefits. No.
Dolly has
happy
needs too, TJ.
Sorry.
He's working
sorry.
9 to 5. He's a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
All right, so let's get into this.
Let's get
So-
into it. Come on, Mandy. Come on.
Our title tonight is "Let's Climb Mountains," and Mandy, for weeks we've been talking about her coming on the show, and she kind of got cold feet on us, and
But
I
here she
think
is.
it was that she was feeling like, what do I have to offer? What do I have to offer to the audience? And I don't, and I had to tell her, you have a lot to offer. You have an impact. And when she came up with the mountain thing, I'll let Mandy tell the story about the mountain thing. I thought it was pretty funny. But so I came up with the title from what she said. And Mandy, please tell us what you thought I meant.
Well, and I did. And I think I'm kind of glad that I did now, retrospectively, because,
Right.
even when we had talked before about it, I mean, initially I was excited. I was so honored and thrilled that you would ask me to join. I really was. And I thank you, all of you, for having me. Honestly, I am thankful that you would have me on your show, because I know, TJ, I know how much this means to you.
Right.
So I thank you all for having me. I really do. But I've seen some of the other shows. I've seen some of the other guests. I've seen TJ's face TikToks, and I've seen how he presents himself and how he lives his life on TikTok. I didn't feel like I measured up.
Oh, please, I'm nobody.
No, honestly, this is.
Well, thank you.
how I felt.
Thank you.
And I felt like some of my TikToks were in the negative. Some of my TikToks, I had the cuss words. I had the,
Ooh, not the F-bombs.
2 of my pinned TikToks. One was a total about love, and the other was about how much I hate someone.
Okay.
And I thought, you know what? I am going to take all these negative ones down so that when I air this, then the people won't see that. And then I sat there and thought, you know what? No, I'm not. And the reason being is I want people to see that they have somebody that's like them.
Yeah.
And that's going through the stuff that they've went through. And if I went through and I knew if I cleared out everything and if I did all these things, they're not going to see the genuine person. They're not going to see the things that they've gone through. They're not going to see I'm still a person.
Right.
I'm still real. I'm not fake. And that is the basis of who I am and who I'm proud of being, is that I'm not fake, period.
I love that.
And so when TJ initially asked me to join, I seen these other creators and thought, oh my gosh, this lady's a female police officer and look what she does. And this gentleman, "Hey, you guys have a nice looking, guy on here."
Oh, yeah, well,
Exactly. I was
Where?
just
Who?
like,
Who was that?
Becky's having fun with this one tonight, and all those women on there. You were getting the audience that night, I'll tell you, And I thought, man, I don't bring that audience to TJ, And so I just, all these thoughts were going through my head of, I'm not going to be able to do these things. This is not who I am. And then I seriously was praying and thought, I can't do this. It's not something that I'm going to be able to do. And I let TJ know, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And then that old regret came because it was like, I've called you to do this. This is why you've gone through these things. This is the reason that we go through these trials. This is the reason that we have these experiences in life. It's not because that God hates us. It's not because that we have to sit down and just be miserable about them. It's so that we do have these journeys to share. It's so that we do have these experiences to give back and have other people go, I'm not alone.
Right.
I'm not the only person that has experienced this. There are other people out there that have gone through this and they get it, So I let TJ know, schedule me, and I'm not gonna back down this time. And I apologize for doing that first time. And then I said, we're gonna talk about mountain climbing. And he said, mountain climbing. Oh, yeah, well, you want to be on my show and mountain climb. Oh, yeah, well, my brothers like to hike. I was like, oh, you sound thrilled you asked me to come back. That's regretting that now, aren't you?
I'm glad you're here. Yeah.
There's more. We're going to talk about climbing mountains when you aren't a goat. And he's like,
yeah.
And I was thinking that we had to go and buy hiking gear. I was like, shoes.
Brian would have pulled out his female gear and whatever. Yep.
We talk about, so I know I've made a couple comments on this page and also on my Tech Talk about allowing your voice to be heard. And you don't have to be, I know I follow David Groggins, who is a phenomenal athlete. He was a Navy SEAL, but you don't have to be that to make an impact on someone's life. There are people out there that are just struggling. And when they can hear from someone else that, hey, I'm going through the same junk.
Yeah.
Now, I feel right now my life is awesome. I really do. I think I'm in a great place in my life, but I was not for a long time. I went through this journey, and now that I think about this whole mountain climbing, it's true. And
it is.
It's a high ass mountain that we have to climb, and it's it's the struggles of everyday life. It can like Bobby's the one. Well, Bobby and Becky both have kids that are still in school, and they see that day-to-day struggle, that day-to-day grind with their kids and the family life and all of that. Brian and I, we're kind of empty nesters now, but we still have to see the struggles that people have in life. It's the paying the bills. It's just some of the, like, I know I'm very outspoken about when it gets dark early and it gets cold. I get depressed. I have seasonal depression.
Easy.
And that's a struggle that I have every year. Yeah. And for some reason, I don't want to move to Florida because it's too damn hot. I don't get it. I wouldn't have to worry about that anymore. So now, Mandy, tell me, not from the very beginning of day one of your struggle, but or of your life, your journey, but kind of where did you see that you were still going? You were still going up that mountain. You were still doing what you needed to do. when you realized that, hey, I can't come back down, I need to go up? When did you realize that?
I have always been mountain climbing.
Okay.
I'm still mountain climbing. And I think that's what's the most important thing for me to share is it's for me, my journey hasn't always been about let me rephrase this. At one point, my journey was I need to get to the top. That was my goal. I got to get to the top of this mountain so I can look down and be like, oh, I'm here. This is beautiful. I finally made it to the top. I'm a success. I've got everything I want now. I'm at the top of my mountain. And then I finally realized we are always going to have problems.
Right.
There is always going to be something going on. Something's always going to be happening. And it's how we deal with those situations. There is always things that are going to surprise us. And sometimes we're not going to have others that's going to be around. I was telling, TJ and his wife yesterday, with my situation, I don't know how much to share, and I'm going to do like a little brief. Here. And like I said to you guys earlier, my story, I wouldn't believe if somebody told me my story. I just wouldn't. It's a soap opera. I'm 47, okay? And I am so thankful for where I am in life. And my life's chaotic. It really is. It's chaos right now. And I can wake up and still smile. I can wake up and still laugh. Do I do it every day? No. There are days, even last week, that I went to bed and just went, oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
But it's about making that conscious choice to do the things you need to do that help you to get back up and start climbing your mountain again.
Yeah.
And for me, like I was saying, so I was adopted. My biological mother didn't want to carry me full term. And I'm very thankful for my mom and dad who did adopt me. Oh, I just absolutely am so grateful. But their biological kids didn't want me in the family. So I never grew up with that family dynamic that most had.
Were you the youngest?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That left me without a real family. I always say I don't have a family because it didn't leave me with that family dynamic that I always longed for.
Yeah.
Which put me in the situation of, okay, I'm going to find a man and I'm going to have a husband and a family of my own.
Yes.
So what did I do? I found somebody who abused me.
Yeah.
And abused my son. And left me homeless. I walked the streets with a child and was homeless. Okay. Later was diagnosed with cervical cancer.
Mandy, oh my God.
I overcame these things, put myself through nursing school, put myself through fire school, have been on a journey of weight loss, lost 60 pounds. I have done all these things to climb this mountain.
Yeah.
And still, do you know what's going on right now the last 6 months?
What?
I got kicked out of fire school, which was my dream because I'm too fat after losing 60 pounds.
No.
The transmission in my car went out. Okay. Been without a car for 6 months. Issues with the neighbors with some drug abuse above me. Okay. But guess what? I'm not a bit upset and crying. In fact, I told someone a couple of weeks ago, one of my friends said to me, how are you not in fetal position crying?
Right.
This has been the worst 6 months of your life. You've been doing so well. And like, what is going on? You've had the worst 6 months and it keeps coming at you. And I said, it's because I know that this is going to pass too.
It will.
Like, I have been through worse in life.
Yeah.
and you make those choices to get up, take steps forward, and get up your mountain. And it's really what you have to do. I don't have the family support system.
Yeah.
I don't have the friends. I don't have money to go out and get a new car. So what am I going to do about it? I can't stay on the ground.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I know so many people in these situations. And it's like you have that choice to stay by that roadside, like those little crumpled up cans that we see, you know, or
Yeah.
you can actually unfold and get up and start walking again. And it's really hard. I mean, I'm sitting here making it sound like just get up and climb your mountain. It's not like that at all. Like you really sometimes get up. I get up with tears in my eyes, kicking every freaking rock there is up the mountain, using every cuss
Yeah.
word,
Yes.
screaming at God as I go,
Yeah.
and telling him what I think. But then I also tell him, I'm sorry, I love you, and I appreciate that you've been with me when nobody else has.
Yes.
Because it's a relationship I've built with him
Yeah.
because no one else has been there.
And everybody's mountain is different.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, like you've had all these obstacles to climb, but every person's mountain is different, and every person's mountain is just as important.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what makes my mountain important to me?
Mhm.
It might not be important to somebody else. You know, my value system, yours might be different. You might have a mountain that is going to be like, to you, your mountain might look like a pebble to me.
Right.
Because I'm at a different place in my life
Yeah.
than you are. You might be starting your journey.
Exactly.
So your hill, you know, your hill, I might be looking at you going, I cannot believe she is throwing a fit.
Right.
And that's just a hill. Like
I wish those were the only problems I have.
Yeah.
So we have to be respectful of each other, knowing that. And when we see somebody in those positions and in those situations, that's why I just love TikTok. Oh my goodness. I was sharing with TJ and his wife yesterday. TikTok really, this darn kids app.
I know.
It helped heal me. God used it to heal me because I have been able to build a community of people that I'm like, oh my goodness, they're like me. I thought I was alone. I thought I was different, that nobody was like me. This person's saying that they do the same thing.
Yes.
Reach out.
Yes.
Make those videos. Show people who you are and what you are. That's why I said I wouldn't take those videos down. Be real. You don't have to be disrespectful, but be real.
Yeah.
Let them know. You know what? This is who I am.
I love TikTok in the sense of what you just said, is that it shows people in the same situation that I'm in, joking about the things I'm joking about, dealing with the same thing I'm dealing with, making me not feel like a horrible mom, making me not feel like a horrible person, and just like everybody's doing what they need. Like this is real life. Facebook, Instagram, those are all fantasy. But TikTok, I feel like it's real people. And it does. It just gives a community of people that you never will get from any other social media. I really believe that.
Well, let me put something else out here. It's when you're talking about going up this hill that we're talking, you know, your life journey and everything else. And I've been in a situation where I'm tired, right? I'm tired. I'm sore. I'm tired of things not going the way I want them to go. But if you just take a brief moment, you turn around, you look at what you've accomplished and how hard it was, you're like, there's no way in hell I'm going down this side and I got to get to the top. And I think that's what people have to realize. A lot of people give up before they get to that goal. You know, I've been working for 23 years in law enforcement, and I'm almost there. And there's been times where I look back and I just like have a memory of when I was a rookie and I started out working in the jail and how God it sucked. And I look at where I'm at now, and it's been a great career. It's been a great experiences, but there's been some rough times that build character. It's just like when you play sports and it's tough, it builds character. When you have a failure in life, it builds
Yeah.
character.
The whole thing is we've honestly, all of us in this chat have survived 100% of our worst days. Take
So
that for what
far.
it is. But
Mhm.
we've survived 100% of our worst days.
Right.
But
And
none of us have done that by just staying still.
No.
You know, and I was saying, even, you know, I was upset. I had done something a couple weeks ago, and I was so frustrated with myself, so frustrated. And I knew, I had recognized that I had gotten to the point where I got up, but I walked the wrong way. I went totally the wrong direction, knew I shouldn't have went this direction, still did it, went the wrong way, and then totally said, okay, you know what? Now I'm so far out of where I need to go, out of the wrong direction, you know, down the wrong path. And then I just tore myself up. I just ripped myself up over it. And then it was like I had to sit down and encourage myself. Sometimes we don't have those support systems to say, hey, stop and listen. Sometimes we have to do it ourselves and sit and say, you know what? Look at what you did. You got up.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people wouldn't even get up?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you something. You said you didn't have a support team or a support system. Have you ever had like a mentor? Have you ever had someone that just said, "This is what you need to do to succeed"?
I have had bits and pieces throughout my life of different people that have made efforts to.
Okay.
I think for me, my best advice for that is just to take caution with it,
Right.
because you have to really know yourself and who you are and what you want in life, because you can go the wrong direction with that too.
Mhm.
I mean, you really have to be able to be strong to get up and walk your path
Right.
and walk your mountain, and be careful not to try to walk somebody else's.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
go ahead.
no, that was just what I was gonna say. You have to be able to be strong enough to get up and to listen to others and to seek others' advice and wisdom. But then you have to be able to apply it to your situation,
Yeah.
and to be able to still go to the direction of your dreams and
Yeah.
not try to take it and go their dreams.
Right.
And that's what I want to piggyback off of is like, so I know I have everybody in this arena as a support system, but I will keep everything because I've always done that. Like I'll take everybody else's problems on myself, but unless it's unfortunately Bobo has got the worst of my issues. Had to come in at some pretty severe times, but it's the severe times that he has to come into that I don't have a control of. But in my own control, I don't want anybody else to be burdened by my issues. And like I don't know how to. That's the thing that I fight with every day is like, how do I let people in to tell them what I'm going through and not feel like I'm burdening them, even though I know that I have the best support system in the world. Like I could reach out to several people, but I don't want to because I don't want to burden them with my problems because I know they have their own problems in the
Yeah,
world.
I have that issue.
That's the biggest problem for
I think
me.
we all probably have that issue.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And like, how do you get out of that? Like, because I mean, Brian, it takes destiny to tell me some things that are going on. Bobby, like I said, he like literally comes in when I'm at a point where I can't control a situation. TJ's, I mean, everybody's always there, but like, how do you get to a point where you let people even into your, like, how do you let them know that you're in a crisis or just need somebody to talk to?
Well,
Well,
let
go
me
go
challenge
ahead,
you
Mandy.
quick. I want to challenge Becky just real quick.
Yeah.
Because first she said, how do I do this? Because I don't do it. But then she just named how she did it with all three of you.
Yeah.
So I want to challenge you to think about that, because even though you say you don't, you do, but you
In
just
the worst
made
possible scenarios.
exactly. So I know what you're saying, but I also want to challenge you to think about that just a little differently, because you do that.
Yes.
But you do wait longer than maybe you should. And I want you to think about next time what I'd like for you to do. And I don't want to be Dr. Phil here, because I don't, like I said, I don't know it all. And this is based on my experience.
Yeah.
And it's different for everyone. Okay. So you have to take just my bits and pieces of what's happened in my life and apply it to yours. Not everything that's good for me is going to be good for everyone. It's not. But take the bits and pieces of my juice here and make your own cocktail. But what I would like to challenge you is the next time to try to identify your own self-worth in that.
Yeah.
And say, hey, look, I know I do this. And this is the times that I reach out to them.
Yeah.
Now I do know that I do reach out to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do know I've been identified and called out that I do reach out to them.
Yeah. And it has to be before crisis, like ground zero crisis.
Right.
And that's where I'm trying to figure it out, because I don't want to burden. I know everybody has a life and, we live our own lives, but and that's the hard part is I just don't, and I know you probably have felt this way your whole life, Manny, but the burden aspect of it.
But see, for me, I didn't even have anyone to pass the burden on to.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Now, but for you specifically, all three of these men here, have any of you felt she was a burden to you?
Oh, no.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Bobby, don't lie.
Yes. She's quite a burden.
The worst.
Aside from the beard comments.
Yeah.
Twin, and he feels the most burden because he had dreams about my heart attacks and stuff.
Oh, I do. And then I have them 6 months later.
He has heart issues later. So Bobby feels the most of my burden because he's my twin. But
I think I would reach out to you guys more if I don't think that it's a burden. I don't feel like it's a burden anymore because we're older now and fuck that, kind of thinking. But I think for me, more to reaching out to you guys is by the time I get home, it's about this time.
That's
Right.
okay, though,
I'm like,
Brian,
it's 9 something at night. I'm not trying to bug people at 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
No.
That's more my thing than burdening. But
But here's also the thing that you're bringing up is how many times have you called at 9 o'clock at night for whatever reason and nobody's answered?
But from a point of view from somebody who would absolutely love to have a brother do that.
Yes.
Can you just send a text and say, I'm thinking about you and I love you, sis?
Yeah.
Just that alone. Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up. Just to have a brother do that. I'm serious.
I know.
That alone, that opens the door for her to then be like, okay, he's thinking about me. Now, if I have something that I need, she's able to say, okay, he's already opened the door. Now I can put my foot in because he's already thinking about me. So maybe I should just tell him while I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like all the everybody laying on a couch right now and paying you for this kind of thing.
I know, right, man? You just
The Stevens family will send you the bill.
You're back on and do Freud right now.
Who's the finance guy? Who's going to pay her?
Do you have a Cash App? We're gonna
we'll Venmo you. But in talking about
Mandy, I can't tell you how much that means to me to hear
that. No, seriously, because that again is climbing a mountain when you ain't a goat. Because I don't have a goat. I don't have a brother.
Right.
So I don't have that brother connection or that goat. I don't have that connection there. And so it's I've had to try to build those relationships with my fire department boys. I volunteered and went down to the fire department for 10 years. And I went down there and took food. I went down there and volunteered just to take things to them because of that family atmosphere, and tried to fit in just to see the reaction when they'd say, "Oh my gosh, Nurse Mandy's here. She's brought cupcakes."
Yep.
One of them called me the cupcake lady one time. And I said, "Look, first of all, you never call the fat girl the cupcake lady." Okay? That's like the first rule. Okay. But I mean, just to have, I was telling you, TJ, the other day that one of the men on TikTok that I had developed a friendship with over the last 2 years, I had sent him some funny TikToks and we will correspond. And he told me the other day, he said, "Oh my God, I love you." Or "That's the reason I love you." And he didn't mean it like, "I'm in love with you. Please meet me in Vegas."
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's that interpersonal communication.
Yes.
But I cried because that's not something that, aside from my son, that I hear. Right. And there's people out there that don't hear those words.
Right.
And that's something that a family like you guys that have, you hear that. But there's people, and I hate to keep saying like me, but I want people like you that have goats, that are goats, to understand that there's people like us that don't have that. So that when you guys are out and you're working in your law system and in the sheriff, in your field, the medical fields, and that specialty that you're in, you're more aware. And those watching us, when you're out there, you're more aware that, where are they coming from when they're saying these things? Yeah. Because they aren't a goat like we are, maybe. Maybe they don't get it because they don't have it.
Yeah. Well, guess what, Mandy? You have it. You have it with us.
And
I promise you that.
Hey, so
are you paying for my hotel to go to the ball game too?
Yeah.
Football game.
We're not paying for. We're just gonna become friends with somebody.
Yeah. We make fast friends, and
yeah, we do. We're military brats, so we made friends on the fly.
I'm gonna get my aura fixed.
Yeah.
Here's
Aura equals rectum. So I have a couple questions. Am I allowed to ask questions? Or I know we're kind of already short on time.
But
we got plenty of time.
Okay. All right. So do you?
I don't know, but you sound serious. It's scaring me.
I know. When you're talking, so this is how in my own head, we all have mountains to climb, and that's everybody. But do you compartmentalize, or is life a big mountain and all of it's a mountain? Or is it, I've got this issue, I tackled it, I've climbed that mountain, I'm back in the valley, and I've got another mountain to climb? Or is it like every day is an uphill battle, I'm climbing the mountain? Obviously, metaphorically speaking, but I mean, is this how you tackle these things? Or is it one big mountain, the Mount Everest of life? Or do you're standing on top of the mountain cheering, and then you get off the mountain, and now I've got another mountain to climb? How do you, is it all one mountain, or is it compartmentalized?
I have never been asked that.
So
I've never been asked that. That's an awesome question.
Or it's a dumb question.
No, it's not. Oh, no. No.
But I'm curious because how I do it in my own, I mean, if I've got issues, or a problem, and thankfully I have very little problems in my life, which, knock on wood, I've got a very good support system with family, with my wife, my kids, that I actually like. So, I try to take it one step at a time. All right, this is my mountain today. Sometimes that mountain might be getting out of bed. Maybe I'm tired and now I got it. So I've got this victory already. I climbed out of bed and I won. Mm-hmm. I'm already one step ahead. Now I'm back in the valley. Now, shit, I got to get in the shower. I don't want to do that. I'd rather, that's another mountain. So is that how you kind of go about, your life? Or is it just one big mountain? That's my first question. And then I often, the Stevens crew, everybody here has had their own issues. We've all had, even at young ages. And one of the things that I try to do is change that legacy. Like, I don't want my children to be raised like I was. I don't want we didn't have really, how old were we? 10 when our life was just
9.
kind of torn apart. 9.
Mhm.
And then it was crazy after that. So, and not that I don't want my kids to be raised that way, but I want to change the legacy. I want the nuclear family. I want the, less challenges without being kind of a helicopter or lawnmower parent. What are you doing to change the legacy with your own child so that they have a goat?
Right.
So those are my 2 questions, if we have time for that.
Well, first of all, I'm blonde, so we got to take it step by step.
I love you, Mandy. You're beautiful.
It's a box blonde, but still, so you might have to slow it down with me. Question at a time, mountain at a time for that part, okay?
Yep.
So you might have to give me that second question again.
Sure.
Yeah, I love you so much.
But that first question, please don't say it's stupid, because there is not stupid questions when it comes to mountains. There's no stupid mountain. There's stupid goats. There's no stupid mountains. But I think for everyone, it's different, and it's okay that it's different. How you approach your mountain and your mountain climbing is okay. Even when we were talking about how you hike, you don't go to a hiker and go, "That's the stupidest way to hike I've ever seen." You're gonna wear that. I mean, well, you might. Okay.
I'm not the hiker, though.
Bobby was the slowest and easiest hike ever.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's their method. That's their way of hiking. If it gets you up the mountain, it gets you up the mountain. If it takes a rock at a time, get a rock at a time.
Yeah.
It's not a race. It's mountain climbing. It's okay.
Yeah.
For me, my mountain has been a series of mountains on mountains.
Yeah.
So for me, I did have a big mountain. I've had a huge mountain, but I've had little mountains that have been kind of piled around this mountain.
Yeah.
That has had tunnels in the mountain. And I've had like roads that I've made on the mountain and paths in the mountain. And it's just been this whole journey that now that I'm older, not necessarily at the top of the mountain, but I'm older now, and through that mountain somewhere, I'm just now able to look back and go, okay, this mountain climbing for me was not about getting to the top. For me, my mountain climbing was about the things that I've been through so that I could help others. For me, I'm using my mountain climbing to reach others that have gone through it or are about to go through it, to try to change their hike so that they don't have to have the hard hike that I had.
Yes.
So being able to just tell you that it's a series of little ones or one giant, for me, it's been a combination of both. But I will tell you that it's not wrong to have either.
Yeah.
It's really, for me, my answer would be it's a relationship with God and how you need to form that and do it for yourself. There is no right or wrong way to do it. If you need to crawl up the damn mountain, crawl up the damn mountain.
Yes.
The point is, you're getting up and you're moving.
Yes.
You're not laying there and being stagnant.
Yes.
You're getting up and you're moving.
Yes.
I
That's
guess what
important.
what I'm really meaning is,
Oh, I didn't answer it.
if you have you did answer it. But I'm like, as far as small mountains, I'm not saying small mountains, but I have to feel accomplished every day. Like, if I don't feel like I did something good for the day,
That's a
So
good
that's
point.
kind of right.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you
Uh,
not feel accomplished?
I'm
Sometimes
the same
we're
way. I
not
have to have little small victories throughout the day.
yeah, I guess that's what, yeah.
No, sometimes though we're not going to feel accomplished. There are times in our life that we are going to go to bed and just feel like life got a hold of us.
I
There's
will.
some of us that aren't goats.
I'm
Yeah.
paying you. I'm paying you, Mandy.
Oh,
I
now
love
that
But
was
it.
like I was
but
doing.
Mandy, I
Yeah,
would say
because
that
you're right. There's times
I
we're
feel
never-
accomplished every day.
Well,
And
Yeah, I
that's
you
can
know
say the
what?
same thing.
Then you
You
need
know-
to be thankful to God that you're a goat.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
I feel
some of us,
accomplished every
thankful to
day.
something. I'll agree with
Yeah.
that.
I don't
But
feel accomplished every day.
there's
but-
some of us that don't. There's some
but
of us
see-
that just breathing and taking our next breath
Yeah,
is
we're
an
waiting for the
accomplishment.
next day
Yeah.
to figure out how we're going to make it work. Yeah, I'm right
Now,
there.
I have had patients. I've been a nurse for 18 years, and I have had patients that taking that next breath was their accomplishment.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when you have something like what you're saying to me now, man, I'm telling you, General Nerd, you
Mhm.
have such a blessing in your life
Yeah.
to be able to look at me right now through this screen and say, you have to feel accomplished for something else.
Yeah.
When I can sit here and tell you that is some of the things that I have to see when I look at my patients is just taking
Yeah.
their next breath is their accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's
just-
not to put you down,
Yeah.
because that means you have a mountain that's different
Yeah.
Yeah.
than the mountain that they have.
Yeah.
Remember, their climbing is different than yours. So
Yeah.
that's not
Well,
comparing
they're fighting for their
you,
life. Yeah.
not saying
in a lot of
theirs is
cases.
better or worse.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
Bobby,
just
had you-
saying
Oh, sorry.
it's different.
Yeah.
And so you just have more to be thankful for right now. And just don't forget that thankfulness
Yeah.
Right
and
now.
be thankful for that accomplishment that you already have,
Yeah.
instead of trying to find something to be accomplished on those days. Then find your strength in what you've already accomplished in life and be thankful for those things.
And the
Well,
and the point is also, Mandy, you'll attest to this, is that those patients that are just trying to get their next breath for life were where Bobby is right now.
Many
He
were
has nothing to.
absolutely.
I mean, so
Absolutely.
it's a day to day, it's a year to year, it's a decade to decade. But at one point, like the fact that you're where you are and you feel accomplished every day doesn't mean that 7 decades from now it won't be just taking your next breath.
But
Well,
I've had
and it's going to
Everybody has
happen.
that.
that I've taken care
Everybody
of
has
that
that.
have been the same way.
So Bobby, I
Go
want
ahead,
to
T.
say something because
Yeah.
I think Bobby and Brian and I are kind of on the same page when it comes to accomplishment. And and I will tell you the simplest thing that I do. Okay. If I can do this one thing every day, I feel accomplished. If I can get up every morning and have coffee with Kim and have our little conversation, I don't give a damn if the entire day goes to crap.
Yeah.
If I got to do that in the morning, I'm good. There was a Navy admiral. He was a Navy SEAL, and he basically gave the philosophy is when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you should do is make your bed. So no matter what happens through the day, if your day goes to crap, when
Yeah.
you made your bed, and at least when you get home, you have a nice, comfortable bed, neat bed to get into.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we have to say the little things in life that we can accomplish. It doesn't have to be the major things, but the
Yeah.
small things that we accomplish, we can get off the next or get off at the end of the day and say, okay, at least I got this done. And I think that's what being the boys, we kind of have the same mindset when it
And
comes to
that's
that.
what I meant. That's what I
Yeah.
meant by
And
it is
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But I'm speaking, you're goats. I'm speaking to those that don't have a bed to get up and make.
Right.
Right.
Because I've been there. I've slept on the floor
Right.
beside my son
Yeah.
because I didn't have a bed to get up and make.
Yeah.
See, I'm
Even
speaking to
though-
those people who
Yeah.
aren't goats, who don't have
But
the
I also
blessings
feel-
in life that you have.
But
So I'm saying we've got those different mountains there.
I feel like though you keep saying that you're not a goat, but how could you climb these mountains without being a goat?
Yes.
I think you're an undercover goat.
I kind of feel like you're a goat.
Go
Do you?
like a
No, I get it. I get what
You're
you're
a
saying.
goat.
But
I
You're a
know. I'm
goat.
not, no. Here's why. Okay. Here's why I'm an undercover goat. Because
I'm gonna dream of ghosts tonight.
there was just some jokes came to my mind, and I had to real quick push them.
I love it.
I was going to become Melissa McCarthy real quick, and I had to stop.
I love you. I really
Put the
love
filter
you.
over my mouth.
I love you.
For me, again, and this is Mandy speaking. I can't give it this for everybody, but for me, this came back to laying in a hospital bed, being told I should have an abortion because I'd never make it, or my son would never make it, and I may not if I didn't.
Yeah.
And I made a promise to my God and said, you let me keep my baby. I will do everything in my power
Yeah.
to keep going
Yeah.
and to take care of my child.
Yeah.
It
So-
has not been an easy mountain, and it's
Oh, yeah.
still not an easy mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping a promise.
Yep.
So
Which
that's
again
why
makes you the goat.
I am a goat.
Yeah.
that's
You
what
You
are
know what?
I
You are the
have
Tom
no
Brady of
choice.
life.
great, not just a goat, greatest of all time goat.
Yeah.
And
That's
Mandy,
in answer to your second question too
Yes,
about
that's-
your
yeah.
child and changing their destiny is because I don't follow religion. You've
Yeah.
heard me talk about God more than once tonight. I don't go to church every Sunday. You've heard me cuss tonight. I ain't the little good girl with the little hate. There's no hate. Well, there is kind of a halo. I don't know.
Thank God.
There's
It's a
still there.
halo.
It's kind of.
Yeah, we're
It's
Stevens. We
There's-
cuss more than
Right there,
sailors.
girl.
I do cuss. I do. I've
Good
been around the
girl.
fire department too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? That's called religion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't do the religious stuff. I have a relationship with my God.
Right.
I
Yeah.
talk to him like I talk to you guys because I've not had the family dynamics. I've had God. That's it.
Yes. Yes.
So I made that promise to him. And when I made that promise, it was you can let me keep my child, and I will help others, whatever that mountain I have to climb and that road is. So I kept going, and he put the hoofs on my feet so I could
You-
climb
You're
and make
doing
my path so I could lead others up theirs.
it. You're
Do you
doing
feel?
it.
And I think Bobby,
You're doing
correct me
it.
if I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah.
But when it comes to legacy, so basically, right now, when it comes to your legacy, it's you, it's your son.
Yes, sir.
And do you feel like you have established this foundation with your son that your son's going to do these great things in life, and he's going to be an accomplished young man, and then you're going to be able to say, "Job well done."
Honestly, I don't know what God's plan for his is.
Right.
I really don't. I just know that I've done my part. I've
Right.
done what I've promised God that I do with him. I
So,
have.
yeah,
And
Bobby, was that about right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because at the end of the day, now here, well, I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I'm responsible for 3 little human beings
absolutely.
but I want to leave them with not just, monetary gains when I quit making a shadow. I want, and we've talked about this on the podcast many times, so I know these guys know what I'm talking about, but I've worked really hard to teach them the little things that I know. I'm
Absolutely.
kind of a dummy, but I've taught them how to cook. I've taught them, this is how you clean. This is how you scrub a toilet, but that little time that I've spent with them, means the world to me. And that's an accomplishment. I guess that was kind of the whole point was these are the mountains that I think, it's easy to kind of say, hey man, I'm having a rough time and I can't make it up this mountain. Of course it's hard, But if you set these little goals and you kind of, every mountain's kind of smaller. It's getting out of bed. That's an accomplishment. It's taking a shower. That's how I kind of compartmentalize. And as far as the legacy goes, what I really meant by that was you had nobody, and you don't want to kind of raise your son with nobody. You want to be that somebody for your son, and that's what I want to be for my kids.
Right.
Bob, you don't realize like how much they're paying attention, but like now that Seth's 22,
yeah,
he's 22.
Yeah.
Like, and seeing him in a relationship right now, like it shows me like how much he was paying attention to like my relationship with Destiny, because he, I'd always try to open car doors up for Destiny. I'd always try to show respect for Destiny. And now I see Seth doing that for his girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, the first time we all went out to dinner and I saw him open up the car door for his girlfriend, I'm like, okay, he's fucking paying some kind of attention to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to be a good human being. He's trying to pass on the fact that he's like going to be a good male or husband to somebody eventually.
Yeah.
And so you don't even realize how much like the little things like you, and that was only one example. I can give you many more examples, but you don't realize how much like they're really paying attention. Like,
Well, just being in the criminal whatever realm that I'm in, we have young girls, 20s, 22, 25, who say, oh, domestic violence is fine. That's how they were raised. This is what we grew up in. And it's like, what? How are we in an age where that's still okay? Like you were born in, like, you have a 40-year-old detective or whatever talking to you, and you're like, you were born at a different age. I mean, we expect this from our men now.
Okay, boomers. That whole mentality kind of bullshit.
No. The kids are saying that to the boomers.
No, that's what I mean. Like, okay, boomers, I'm gonna let my boyfriend beat me because
yeah. So it's really scary. So the fact that you can make, and I have a son, and Mandy, you have a son. Like, our goal is to make that man a person who's going to respect, love, and treat his woman like he would treat us.
Just people in general. Like it's a bonus that he's treating that he's treating his wife or his significant other like that.
Yeah,
but that's how he treats everybody. Like when he goes out in public, that's how he treats. Like, he doesn't open doors for people, but he does not disrespect any. But he's never seen his parents.
Know that I never thought 20-some-year-olds would be like, oh, it's just normal. This is the generation where I never thought, because I thought that generation went by the wayside.
Right.
And I never thought that 20-some-year-olds would be like, this is normal. Like, what are you talking about, boomer? Like, this is just how we do. No.
We're not even boomers, Beck. We're just the in-between of this fucking boomer generation.
No. We're Gen Z. Or wait.
Yeah, but we're like caught in the middle because we're like kind of hip, but we're not hip. We like want to have the views of the boomers, but we also want to have like the
Gen X is the best generation, and we're all.
It is. No, it definitely is.
We drank out of
trauma. We've had victory. We've had pain. We've had whatever. But Gen X is the best because we've had it all, and we can deal with it.
Well, we can relate to boomers, and we relate to this next generation who's kind of a little bit crazy.
So real quick, I wanted to do this before I lose the thought process. Over the weekend, I went to a funeral. And the funeral was of one of my greatest mentors I ever had. And basically, here's some stats, because the boys love stats. So he's got about 9 grandchildren, and he's got about 17 to 19 great-grandchildren. He's been married. He was married for 60 years. He was 77 years old. They got married like, 17. I think it is 17 or 18 years old. They got married. This man traveled the entire world doing sales and all this other stuff, right? And all of his grandsons are these perfect gentlemen. They, the oldest is in his 30s, and I mean, I'm in my 40s, and I have not had a great track record when it comes to marriage. We all know this, and I wish God would have sent me Kim many years ago before. But his grandson was talking at the funeral, and his grandson mentions, he says, look, My grandfather always said when my grandmother walked in the room, he would walk up to me and say, "Isn't she the most beautiful woman you've ever seen in your entire life?" And when he's telling this story and he says, "I've done pretty well. I've been married 16 years." And you think about it, this guy's in his 30s. He got married at like 21 years old and he's been 16 years, right? And when right before the funeral service started, I went up and I saw his wife. I gave her a hug and told her that I was sorry for their loss. And Drew, who's the grandson, who is actually, if y'all remember, my good friend passed away back in 2012. Drew is his son, and my mentor was my best friend's dad.
Yeah.
Well, when he walked up to me and his wife, this young man says, "You look amazing." Gave her a kiss and said, "You look amazing." So the impact that this man made on all of his grandchildren, because all of his grandsons are married and they treat their wives with such just loyalty, just complete loyalty, and it's just amazing. So the impact that he made and the impact that you can see in the church that the service was at, all these people that he has embraced, and I made a TikTok about it the other day, talking about the footprint that he left with every person he ever met.
Yeah.
And if I can do just a quarter or a tenth of what this man did in his life, what Ivan did in his life, I will feel accomplished.
So you realize, and what you're talking there, and Bobby, what you're doing with your children there, that's climbing a mountain. That's a huge mountain. Do you know how many fathers? My son has cried so many nights wishing his dad was part of his life.
Yeah.
What you're doing there, that is huge. I mean, huge.
Do you think it makes their mountains any smaller in life?
I think if it doesn't make their mountain smaller, because we don't know what is going to come to them in their life. We don't know. And when I say mountains, you don't know if a disease is going to come their way, if a situation is going to happen to them. We don't know what mountain they're going to be hit with, but it sure makes their climbing easier. It sure makes their climbing and their ability. It sure makes they might have those walking sticks. They may have that support system, that book bag with all the water filled with them. Yeah. They have all of that supplies they need to get up the mountain.
That's what we haven't talked about. Is like you talk about the mountain, but we also haven't talked about what makes the mountain easier to climb. And
absolutely.
You just did that. You just did a small snippet of what makes that mountain easier to climb. And that's what's more important than the mountain is what makes it easier to climb.
We could talk for days.
Yeah.
And you're coming back so we can talk about
it. One of these days, I'm a big dreamer. I really am. The way I look at life is I dream big. And one of my things is one of these days, we're going to be able to do this podcast all together and not do the remote. Now the remote's cool because it's a very unique thing that all siblings get together. We have guests.
Yeah.
But one of my biggest dreams is to have all of the guests that we've had on and have them on a big stage. I know that's a big dream. It's not impossible, but it's a huge dream and it's a huge goal to me now.
Yeah.
But I would love to have people. I've already picked out the place. It's 3 blocks from my house.
Oh my goodness! Look at you.
Yes. It's called the Parkinson Center, and it's going to happen one day, hopefully before I move to Tennessee. So,
yes, we're there.
Yeah, it would be great, but like you're saying, that it makes it easier, Bobby.
Yep.
That you're teaching your boys this, and of course you're teaching your daughter this, how to be treated.
Anytime in life you you are confident about a situation, you're gonna attack it a little differently.
Absolutely.
So if you have the confidence to attack something, then that's life. I'm 45 years old, 44, about to be 45, and I still if someone says, "Hey, Brian, present this at a meeting or whatever," I'm like, "Dude, I don't know anything about that. I'm not confident to present that, so I'm not going to present it."
Right.
Like it's something that goes on your whole life. So like the more you're prepared, the more you're confident about what you're speaking to and what you're doing.
Oh, that
so,
makes a ton of difference.
You know, and me and my oldest boy, we have not had the best, you know, because he was so rebelling growing up. But I will tell you, him at 20 years old, he's finally getting it. And I just put those seeds there where they need to be.
Yeah.
And now he's like, he's still lost, and he still
Sorry.
talks any way he wants, and he hasn't figured out how to properly treat a girl yet.
We'll
But
get
he's
there.
getting there. You know, he's these little seeds and making it easy. And our relationship is better now because I put that foundation down. I said, look, man, you know, we might butt heads when you were a little kid, but now you're a grown ass man, and I'm gonna treat you like a grown ass
Different.
man.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you know your boys are going to get to that point, I mean, Seth is there with Brian.
Mhm.
You're going to be able to
Yeah.
have that relationship with your boys when they're grown men, and they'll be looking at you as a mentor.
Yes.
You'll always be dad, but you're going to be that mentor. You're going to be that reference, that resource.
Yes.
Yeah, and I
When
think
they get that first girlfriend, and they're like, "Dad, I am like." So
Yeah.
you might have it like, "Dad, I have this problem." I get the from Austin, it's pops or bruh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Bruh, I got this problem.
No,
with
I get the
girl.
bruh too.
You
Yeah,
get the bruh.
bruh.
Okay.
Oh yeah. But I think it's important not to just show them the good, but also the bad. Like I have a bunch of friends that are like, oh, I don't, you know, my wife and I don't fight in front of my kids. Why? Why
Right.
don't, I mean,
They need
Shannon and
to
I don't fight really, but
Yeah.
it's like, I think it's important that my kids see that we can have an argument, maybe
Yeah.
disagree on lots of things,
Yeah.
but we can come together and at the end of the day, we're still in love, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Yes.
and we can
Yes.
kind of come back together as a group, as a family, and give hugs. I mean, and
Right.
they are always watching. Literally,
Yes,
like 20
they
minutes before I got on here,
Yeah.
I was singing a Sam Cooke song to Shannon, my wife, and we were dancing in our kitchen while I was singing to her.
Look at you, pimp.
And the boys were over there snickering. And Aria, I saw Aria peeking, and then she ran over and joined our dance.
Oh,
You know,
Yes.
so
Yes.
you know, I want them to see that too. I want them to
Mhm.
see those moments, but I also want them to see that we don't always get along.
Right.
Marriage is hard. You know, being in a relationship is hard, and it's important that they see. Now, if it's a super, you know, not that we do it very often, but a big disagreement.
Yeah, like
maybe
if
they don't
you're
need to
like
see
talking
that.
about like, yeah, if you're talking about like, you know, crazy shit that you don't want them to hear, like you're not
That-
gonna
and
let
that's
them-
yeah,
it's
and
good to
that's
hear
not
that
what I
fair
mean. But
fight.
That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so the I think so. My point to that, T, was those moments where you had those arguments and you had those fights are important too, because now he's looking back saying he still loved me. He still had unconditional love for me, even
Yeah.
when I was a complete douche, right?
Right.
So
right.
and I've got two teenagers. They can be douchebags too,
Oh,
but
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's love you guys.
Oh,
You know.
yeah, they can. I got one myself.
I could be a douchebag at the end of the day.
Yes. I'm a dude.
Yeah.
I can be
See-
one at the beginning. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
I don't have arguments with Kim. She's so chilled. Like
Yeah.
I love that. I love
I pinch myself like almost every single day. I get up in the morning, I pinch myself like this ain't real. So
oh,
yeah.
did I tell you guys I'm single and I've been single for like
Oh
over 2
no.
Oh
No one mentioned
Seven
that.
years.
Well, Becky's
this is
single.
so
You guys can have a club.
sweet.
7 years.
Oh.
We're at 7 years. I think I'm a born again virgin, and
Oh my God.
I'm in love with Christ.
Honey, my cherry grew back and brought friends. I understand.
I'm peeing my pants right now. just
You know,
so-
women are paying
I got the whole
big bucks
damn
for that
cherry
surgery.
tree going in
Yeah,
it.
I mean, we got fucking George Washington hitting down with the damn.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, ladies, women are paying big money for that surgery.
Talking about
Yeah.
that. Sorry, I did.
Rejuvenated.
But that was
Yeah,
hilarious.
they're good. There's good guys out there though. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, I
you
don't know
gotta.
where.
Well, you know,
We'll find them, right?
I don't
We'll
know if
find
we,
them.
I don't know
Yeah,
if we
yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
this, but
Yeah,
So
yeah,
me
yeah.
and
Hands in the
Kim-
kitchen with you. I know.
Yeah.
so me and Kim talked to Mandy for a good hour and a half last night,
Yeah.
and I got off the computer, and of course, Kim was like, "Oh, she's so wonderful. She's so pretty,"
Yeah.
and we both said, "What the hell's wrong with these dudes?
Right?
You know,
I'm
what's
thinking
wrong
the
with
same
them?"
thing. You're
that
a
they
Have
don't
they
cat,
not
see-
seen
girl.
my TikToks?
You're a cat.
No, it just
What are you
it
talking
really
about?
it does blow your mind that you know.
It does.
There's
You're
plenty
gorgeous.
wrong. Trust me.
Yeah,
No,
we know what's
you're
so
gorgeous,
funny is
you're
that
smart, you're educated, you have a career. What
Right.
the freak is wrong with men? It's because they're insecure and can't handle your success.
Do
you
you
just
know
haven't found the right one because you know.
I
Yeah.
have not dated in over 5 years.
It's 7.
Not even a date?
So I tried going out
Wow.
with a friend.
Well, that was a mistake.
It
That didn't
It
go-
was.
it was bad. Like
Like
I
it's
couldn't even
fun, though.
kiss him.
Yeah.
It was like gross. It
Yeah.
was gross.
Yeah.
Oh, because
other
he was
than
a
that,
friend or he was gross?
He was gross.
Ah!
Did he make you
No.
put on the lotion? by
He-
chance?
Wow.
Puts
Wow.
lotion on his skin.
Did
He
he
even
try
said to
hard?
me. He even said to me, he's like, "This is like friend kind of." I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Too much of
But
friends.
other than that date, it's been actually April makes 6 years since I've been on
Wow.
a date.
Me too.
Now, have you
Okay,
tried
I'm
or are you
excited.
just
No.
trying?
It's been like 20. It's been like probably 20 years since I've been
You
on
have
a
a
date.
wife, goddammit. You shut
You're married though, right?
Oh shit! Sorry. I thought
Oh,
you were
yeah,
yeah.
comparing
shut up, Brian.
dating.
But yeah,
I thought we were
me
comparing
and
dating
Then
Mandy
you
shows.
should be taking your wife out on a date.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they go
All
on
the
date
time.
night all the time.
We go out
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah.
Okay,
Me
then.
and Mandy need to find some good men and cross track them.
Because I'll tell you what, this last hour and a half, Bob was starting to look good back there.
Bob is in his gear for you, girl. Look at him.
I like that bald good look there. And jean jacket.
Freaking
Yes.
jean jacket.
Yeah,
He's got nothing from the waist down though, so he.
yeah. He's not
Don't
Neither
packing.
have any of the men I've dated before. So you know what?
Bob doesn't want to hear you talk about him like that.
Bob is-
He's got great boobs though. Bob
He
does.
does have great boobs. He
Well,
does.
I don't like competition. So that
That
leaves Bob out.
I get it.
now we know why Mandy's not dating. She's like, oh, there's something wrong with this one.
There's a lot of people with
Well,
man
not
boobs
good
out
enough.
there.
There's a
Wanna-
lot of that nowadays. So you know,
Right, yes.
Well, I will tell you, continue being picky
Yes,
because
please.
you want to find that right person,
Yes.
and you don't want the jackass.
No.
no, I've had
You
him.
don't deserve a jackass. You're
Yeah.
amazing.
Look, I tell you, I wake up every morning and I thank God that where I'm at, and I just pray every morning. I pray every morning. Yo, don't screw this up, because
You
this
better not.
this is like
TJs, there's a lot of ways you're gonna screw this up, bro. Yeah.
just no major screw ups. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, just no major screw ups. I'll be like, thank you, Jesus. But you know, but yeah,
Yeah.
life can be tough.
It
can
And, you know, but be picky, because
Be
if you're looking for that forever person, be picky.
You
And
deserve
don't
to
settle.
be picky. Don't
See,
settle for nothing.
Becky's not allowed to settle because she's got 3
Hell,
brothers that will put somebody nice to you. So
You know what? My whole thing is I go in with you having 72 red flags. So pick up those red flags and toss them, because I think you're a piece of shit anyway. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's just my
72
career.
red
I
flags,
already
jeez.
think you're coming in as a piece of shit.
72 red flags. That's a lot of red
That's a
flags.
lot, Beck.
You got to get rid of 72 red flags before I'm going to let you in my house. Yes. Sorry.
Mhm.
wow,
Becky, that's
people come with that
that's
many
a lot.
red
That's why
flags.
I've been
Word.
single for 7 years.
Maybe-
Hello?
Maybe Becky, maybe
73.
back it off a little bit.
I might
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
3? Do you know what I deal with every day? No. 3 is a freaking no. We're talking at least 22. That's a minimum.
Jay.
Red flags?
Yes. You want me to go through?
Are you bringing prisoners home? What the fuck are
Becky,
you
what
bringing
is
home?
Wait, what?
Collect call from.
You're up.
Yeah.
Give me an example of a red flag, Becky.
you're controlling. You would tell me
Okay.
what to wear. You want to know where I am all the time. You want to keep me from my family. You want to
These
tell
people
my kids
exist?
what to do.
Yeah.
You want to.
Wow.
You want to hit me. You want to abuse my child. I mean, they're like, can we go? That's already.
So these aren't red flags that you identify. These are red flags that you are trying to make
Stay
sure
away.
they don't have.
Eliminate.
Okay.
But if you have 3 red flags and you get through the 4th, you're probably not worth it, and you're probably going to stalk me, beat me, or
Jesus,
something.
Becky. Okay.
She is
Please
You have a
stop.
different dating scene than yeah.
I know.
I'm gonna be single the rest of my life because I don't.
Jeez,
Yeah,
I feel like
you
we
will
need to
be
put a
back. You will
GPS
be
tracker
back.
on you.
I mean,
know.
I've dealt with that so many times. There are so many people that put GPS on their women, but unfortunately,
Becky,
if you
you
are
watch too many
and
crime
loving
shows.
and loving and supportive and are amazing, you know what? After those 5 amazing things, that 6th is a red flag, which is you're keeping me from my family. You don't like my kid. You want me to spend all my time with you. You don't like my dog. F that shit.
Yep. So I'm
It's
single.
too late. It's too late because you've already beat me. You've already hit me in the face twice.
Jesus, Becky.
What?
I'm really nervous right now, guys.
I know.
I know, damn, dude.
You should be because this
Hey, I'm booking a. Hold on, I'm
is
booking a
right on my
flight
mind.
to Ohio. Hold on.
Yeah, you should
Blink,
be.
blink
because
if you
that
need
is
help.
reality.
Becky.
Like
I know,
said,
damn,
you
but
have
twice,
these
Becky, if
5
you're seeing it.
amazing things, but on number 6, you're gonna make me want to question you. Number
Now-
7, I'm gonna say no, and you're gonna smack me in the face or
Becky,
kill my dog.
hey, Becky,
Both
you're
of those
making me very nervous, and you know I've been trained like the Taken dude, so
I know, but I'm saying that I've also
I got a
dealt
skill
with
set.
enough criminal cases that I'm
I'm
petrified of men.
starting to be afraid of Bob back there that he's doing
Yeah.
something right.
I saw him eyeballing me.
He's gonna help me put the lockdown, but I probably still won't be able to beat you. I don't know. I may kick you a couple times and take you out, but the next time you're gonna slip my tires and
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
probably. TJ, let's talk
Becky,
about time
lay
to wrap
off the
this
true
up.
crime.
We're starting to get into some. We're starting to get some real life shit.
Look,
you
man,
guys are the extreme. Don't
I'm
take
only
that
a
for
plane
don't
away.
take
I
that for
mean-
anything. I'm on the extreme and I'm crazy, so don't.
Yeah,
listen to
but
my
you're on the
shit.
extreme because I've never met anybody that acts like
I
that.
need to hurry up and
Okay.
get this damn- Hey, I need
Maybe
to hurry
on
up
like a
and get this
Lifetime
title
movie
license.
channel and shit, but you know,
Have you ever hung out with a victim advocate?
no, I have not.
No, exactly. That's the
Wait a
problem.
minute, have you ever dated? Did you ask if you've ever dated victim advocate? Is that what you
He
asked?
never has. No, he has never.
No one ever does.
If you haven't hung
Nope.
it out with or dated,
Because there's
you don't.
72 fucking red flags on you as soon as
Yeah,
you start dating
3
them.
red
So, like,
flags.
you don't get a second date
Yeah.
with them.
You
Yeah.
don't. I mean,
Second
listen,
date, she's
so-
planning out your future. Nope.
Listen,
Yeah.
so like I did eHarmony after my divorce, and I thought that was a legit way to do it because I thought guys on here pay for money, and I pay money to be on here and get my perfect man. So the very first guy like went on a date with was the vice president of a True Green in the area.
Vice president of what?
True Green, the people that do
It's
lawns.
like a lawn.
Mhm.
Yeah. And he was affluent. Like he had a beautiful home. I went there. He was awkward as shit. But I'm like, okay, you're weird. I'm still gonna, try this out. Second date, weird. Wait. First date, great. We had dinner. Second date, weird. He was like petting me like a fucking dog. Third date, I don't even like that. It was so awkward. And so after that, I was like, no, I mean, even the most
I just seen a red flag.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then the second guy I started talking to, I don't really remember what he did, but
We
he
could do a
was,
whole
he
show on
was
this.
a good guy. But then I would not text him right away after he texted me, and he would get mad. And I'm like, dude, I have a kid that's young and has sports, and like I'm helping him with his homework. He would get mad that I wouldn't text him back, and I'm like, you're crazy.
Hey,
no.
Becky,
Yeah.
he didn't know that you would. The only time you stay up past 7 o'clock is to do the show.
To do the show. That's the only time. He
You're
didn't.
usually in bed by 7.
I'm like 7:30. I'm out. So like
Apparently, she gets a second wind about 9.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah, if I'm not past 10, I'm like, oh, am I gonna stay up all night? No. But yeah, so
No.
people
Oh, dear
you
Lord.
just try. and people don't meet your expectations. So not
Yeah.
everybody is okay. So I'm just saying, I've tried.
Dating tips by Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Dating
date.
tips with
Mandy,
Becky.
what
That's
can
how we
you
end the show
add? What
tonight.
can you add from eHarmony? And
Yeah, eHarmony.
what's your experience?
Yeah.
Similar?
TJ, do you want
Yes.
me to share?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Now you
Yes.
have to.
Please share. Just share.
Go.
Sharing is caring.
You know what my dating experience is.
Oh yeah. We talked about this last night. Yeah.
Go. I need it.
I have had quite the collection of pictures sent to me.
I bet
Oh,
you
yeah.
have.
Then
And-
the collection.
In 20 some years of being single,
Yeah.
I have had quite the collection of photos snapped and
Mhm.
sent to me. Like they think that I'm going to be going
Yeah.
because after being a nurse for 18 years,
You've seen enough dicks. You don't need any more in your freaking collection.
I have seen more penis than a
You'll ever
prostitute
want in
on
your
Broad
life.
Street.
Yeah.
Being a nurse.
It's ruined.
We were talking about this last night, Bobby.
And I told
It's like,
TJ
you can't put a bow tie on in a top hat.
at
Do you
this
have-
point in my life,
We talked about this yesterday. Yeah.
being a nurse of 18 years
Mhm.
and at my age,
Yeah.
my mature age, what I'm about to say, had I known then what I know now, that I would get so many of these lovely, beautiful photos sent to me unsolicited,
Unsolicited, exactly.
I would have kept these photos, every single one, and
You
made a
should.
book.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
A
would
coffee
have
table book.
Yes.
for women and let them
Yes.
know. And I'd have put googly eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd have put scarves. I would have
Mhm.
put little top hats. Every one of these. I'd have put them in little, like made of mushrooms.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So my coworker has the best calendar right now, and it's a calendar of just things, but it's actually a calendar of very phallic, natural
Red
things
flags.
in the world. So it's like mountains, and it's like rock
Oh,
formations.
mountains. See, appropriate.
Different
Mhm.
things.
Put it all together.
Right.
So it's like it's like the national Earth thing of penises, but you wouldn't really know unless
Welcome
you knew
back.
Welcome back. Yeah.
You know,
You missed it. Oh man.
we talked about penis. You know about penises, Brian. You're a nurse. You've been a
A
nurse.
little something about it.
You said, whoa, slow down.
A dick is a dick, right, Brian? We
Well,
don't.
we went from
You can
PG
have one
13
or
to.
you
We were
want
talking about this the other day. Did we just talk about this last week about caffeine
Yeah, we
people
did.
and doesn't
Yeah.
matter anymore? You just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Dude.
I
When
missed
you
that
put in the healthcare
conversation.
field, a dick is a dick, and you've seen them all, and it's not cute.
Well, we're not going to get the rating on iHeart for this one.
I'm so
Did
sorry.
That reminds me of the story of my vasectomy. Did I ever tell you guys about my vasectomy?
Oh my God, no.
So I go in and I'm nervous. I
Oh,
am
it's nerve-wracking.
dude. I
Nerve-wracking
was,
as hell.
and of course, it was painless, and I was nervous for no reason. But
Right.
I had
The
3
smaller they
sweatshirts
are, the
on.
less pain there is.
right. Yeah, they were. But I go. I go in and I get all like ready, and the doctor says, and I'm, you're kind of in a weird position, and the doctor says, "Hey, we have like a class of nurses that would like to come and watch.
No.
Are you okay with that?" And I'm at this
No.
point, I'm like, dude, it's all out, and I said yes, and they I was surrounded by nurses as I was getting my vasectomy, and it was the funniest thing. So embarrassing.
God.
But it was fun. That was
Oh, let
fun.
me tell you,
They didn't care. They didn't care.
you'll love this one, Mandy.
I feel like I see
You're
a porn
Bobby,
that
you're just
works
another
that
dick.
way.
They don't care. They don't care.
I know.
Hey,
that's
Mandy,
right.
I got a great story for you real quick. So I got my vasectomy at like 30, and my daughter, thought that it was like when the cows got,
Mhm.
their vasectomy or whatever, their castration.
Yeah.
So, one, they would not eat peas because the frozen vegetables was the best way to keep that thing
Oh, yeah,
regulated.
yeah.
So they wouldn't eat frozen peas and frozen carrots for years.
Yeah.
And then one day we're talking, and she goes, Dad, I learned something today in family health. And I was like, well, what's that? She said, well, I thought they took your nuts. I thought you were gone. I thought your balls were gone. I thought it was just a stick, and that was it.
Oh my god.
And I couldn't stop lying. I couldn't stop laughing. I could not stop laughing. I'm like,
Yeah,
no
your
way.
your daughter's a nurse now, and she knows all about the nuts.
Well, no, she went in a whole different realm from nursing, but she was just like, I thought your balls were taken.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That'll traumatize a child, man.
Yeah. So my kids, for years before family health in high school, she was thinking, my poor dad don't have balls.
Oh my god.
Well, what I had 3 shirts on, like an undershirt, like a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, and a coat. I had sweat all the way through every layer of clothes that I had.
I remember
I was so nervous.
I was picking the fucking paper off the back of my back because it was like just all shredded. I was sweating so bad. I was trying to make small talk with the doctor at the time. Like, you're just trying to make small talk with them. You smell burning. You hear some sniffing. Nothing hurts. Nothing hurts.
Nothing hurts. Yeah.
But it's just a weird situation.
Can I ask
there was
you,
no nursing students in there. There was no nursing students in there, but the wait staff wanted to all come in. I don't know why.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird as hell. The receptionist wanted to come in. I was like, that's all right. If it's going to help them with their phone calls later. I mean,
can I ask you, nurses, though? I am curious about this, and why do you guys do this? This is actually really frustrating, and I'm going to try not to cry about it. But they said, hey, you need to make sure you shave as much as you can, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I do my best, but I'm not 100%. Why do you go in dry?
We all do our best.
Why do you go in dry with the razor?
For Bobby, because
crying out loud.
those doctors are like, we need these patients ready. There's no time for shaving cream, Bobby.
Dude,
It-
lather me up with some
You
hot
want
lather.
the brush?
Wait.
It hurts.
The hot.
Yeah, we're not gonna like lather some shit up in the. Excuse me, sir. Would you like some warm cream on your balls before we shave you off?
We're gonna give you the Brazilian.
Because there's like 20 of you motherfuckers that are like lining up out the door that need to have this done today.
I
Oh,
worked
it
at
was
a
so bad.
cardiology.
Let me put this comment back on because he's probably thinking it.
Pubic hair before their angioplasty or what was it?
Cardiac calf.
Cardi B.
That cardiac calf. I would have to shave all their pubic hair with this piece of shit fucking hospital razor.
Dry.
And they're
Dry.
like 42 years old, and I'm a 20-year-old woman shaving their fucking dick off. Like, what? I mean,
Yep. We just lost that. Hey, look.
It's not embarrassing. I'm like,
I can put this on YouTube, Spotify, and Podbean, but this is not going on iHeart.
Yeah.
You put it on Pornhub.
Hey, actually, do we
There's
have?
Mandy's in the room.
Oh my God.
You know what though? It
One for another.
is time to like show appreciation for our sponsor, Bic.
Yeah.
You know, we should probably throw in that. Or what is Bic the razor? Or is Bic
Bic even a razor
No,
anymore?
I don't know.
Dude, I
what
don't know.
it is.
All right. The
I'm
joke.
sitting in a pile of urine from you guys making me laugh so hard. But no, I don't. I'm
This is
taking
a
it
hell
up.
of a mountain it became.
Yeah.
My
it is.
mountain, I have to.
See, Mandy, we go from the topic to the let's do some bullshit.
We go from the summit to the very bottom
To
of
the
the
very,
mountain.
like
Yeah,
the
we
valley,
don't
like
start
the
at
creek
the
at the
top.
bottom of the valley,
We start
like
at
the
top
bottom
and
of
go to
the.
Back to the
bottom.
peak.
We're the scuba diving right now.
To the damn, whatever the bottom's called. We are there.
Well, look, guys, I think this was a lot of fun,
It was so fun.
but I think we're gonna have to end this show.
I have to go to the bathroom.
So just to tell you, Mandy, we're gonna
You already
we'll,
did.
we'll end the
I did 7
podcast,
times.
but don't have to leave. So I asked this question quite a few times to guests, but I'm going to ask you and think about it. And if you don't know, if you don't have an answer, that's fine. But if you could go back and ask or tell your younger self something, what would you tell them? What would you say to yourself?
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And if it doesn't look like it's going to be okay, it's not over.
That's right.
Because
like
so many times we just think like, oh my goodness, everything just looks like it's over. It's the end.
Yep.
It's
No.
not over. It's not the end.
No.
And if it is, well, then it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Well, really, and that's why so many people, so
Yeah.
many kids feel hopeless and helpless and want to
Yeah.
end their lives. And the fact that there's so much more life to live beyond what they're in that moment. And I think that's the most important thing we could tell people and kids, even that is it. This is not the end.
It
And you could continue on, and there's people that love
Absolutely.
you. I mean, don't fall into that despair, and there's people out there that can help.
Yeah.
And if you feel like there's nobody that loves you, find them.
Find them.
Seriously.
Yes.
I
Yes.
right now, like I said before, had no one. Go aside from my son. I don't
Mhm.
want to ever discredit him because he has saved my life, that boy,
100%.
more than he knows. But I'll tell you, find them. Find your people.
Yeah.
There are so
Yep.
many groups now. Find your people. Find your
Absolutely.
tribe. Seriously,
Yes.
get out there. Find people that are like you. They are
And there
really.
are. Yeah. Oh, Mom wants to bring you back, Mandy.
Thank
so-
you.
You're coming back.
All right, guys. Well, look,
Too.
thank y'all for watching us tonight. I know a lot of people, they'll watch the show afterwards. But do us a favor. When we go off air, wait for a little bit for this to be published. Like it, leave a comment, follow, all that good stuff. It helps us build our numbers up, and we really appreciate it. And if you can't watch the YouTube, we'll have it on Spotify and Podbean. And we'll try iHeart. iHeart might kick it back, but we'll see what happens.
Sorry, iHeart.
But Mandy, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you,
And
everybody,
everyone have a
for
great night.
Seriously, and welcoming me.
You're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Don't
it.
ever doubt yourself. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a good night.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.